Welcome to RVing in New England, the nation's only forum that puts you on stage with some of the biggest names in the RV industry. And now your hosts, John DiPietro and Bob Zagami.
Hey, it's Joe from 1019 POR and John, Joe, and Courtney. We're back for another exciting season of Seacoast RV TV. Today's episode is brought to you by the letter W. As in Winnebago. Did you know that Seacoast RV is once again the award winner of the Flying W Award, which recognizes Winnebago dealer locations that deliver the highest service excellence and superior customer satisfaction? Don't mean to brag, but we're kind of a big deal. Speaking of Winnebagos, how about the Winnebago Access? Come on inside and take a look around. Modern and spacious interior, easier camp setup with all the deluxe features and an outstanding value? You get it all with the Winnebago Access. You know, with so many different models to choose from, though, it can get so scary and confusing. I feel like I need some help.
Hi, I'm Amanda. Welcome to Seacoast RV. How can I help you today?
Selection, service center, and a huge parts and accessory department. No wonder Seacoast RV is once again Winnebago's Flying W Award winner, their highest honor. Find the perfect RV or towable for you and your family with one stop, Seacoast RV. Easy to find, Route 1 in Saco.
Seacoast RV.
I'm Jackson.
Hi, everybody. My name is John DiPietro. The young man next to me is not Bob Zagami. It is our friend Bernie, Uncle Bernie. Bernie, welcome. Mr. Zagami is somewhere on an interstate highway tonight heading up to Indiana for some family time. And Bill, you put your name down there, but why don't you just come in and say hello while we're, before we get...
Hello, everybody. Greetings. Boston area here. But I'm already seeing we've got folks from all over the place checking in quickly here.
Fantastic. Yeah, Bill, keep an eye on those. Oh, Pat Hawes, greeting from
it's only, what, a dry heat down there?
Yeah, it's only 120.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, last week, though, we were in New York City on Saturday, and it was hot. I know we're going to talk about that in a few minutes, but Bernie, tell everybody what you've been up to lately. You got a brand new show.
Yeah, I've been doing this RV Game Changer show now for about 10 weeks. We just distributed one with our good buddy Jim Conboy on the show this Tuesday. We released that show, and boy, it's been so much fun interviewing all these wonderful people in companies that are really into making a difference in the RV industry. And you can't thank everybody enough for being so supportive. But please check us out at RV Game Changer and pretty much every social media platform.
Everyone out there. And special hello to Rick Kessler, who is joining us from Michigan tonight. Yeah. Actually, I think that's Rick's kind of home base. They have this area out there near Elkhart called Michiana, which is a combination of Michigan and Indiana, which I had never heard of until a few years ago. And
kind of intertwines there a bit.
Well, they're on the same border. It's like Massachusetts and Connecticut, or Massachusetts and New Hampshire, and or Massachusetts and Vermont. And you can't really get to Massachusetts from Maine. But you
used to be able to, because Maine used to be part of Massachusetts a long time ago when our founding fathers was founding this lovely country.
Back when Zagami was in high school.
Yeah.
And I think John Quincy Adams was president or whatever. So,
but one of those few people.
You know what? We've got a great show lined up tonight. Bernie, do you have any song or anything that you want to lead off with? Did you prepare?
You know what? It'll come to me when it comes to me, but I don't have anything planned right now. But I do want to let people know that tonight, John DiPietro is going to be talking about his favorite subject, John DiPietro.
Exactly. But I'll only be talking about it. I won't be singing about it.
Okay.
I will warn you folks, I am out on my deck, and despite the fact with the virtual fake background, it's supposed to start raining, but first it was supposed to start at 5 o'clock. Then they moved it to 9 o'clock. And now if I leave quickly, it's nothing to do with the audience. It's the fact that the rain has started here. So I'll finish from inside the building. And speaking of Jim Conboy, there's Jim right there. Jim, welcome.
All right.
And Bernie, has that show hit the street yet?
Oh, the Jim Conboy show? Absolutely. Yeah.
It's already on the street.
Absolutely has.
Okay. So let's tell you a little bit about, we said thank you to our friends at Seacoast for sponsoring us. And also we want to let you know that our show from last week when we had Joel Holland on from Harvest Hosts has, I think we're about 12,000 views. It's one of our biggest shows. And just before that, we had our biggest show ever with Chris Doherty, up to about 15,000 views.
You guys are getting popular here. This is big time.
You know, we've been doing the show for almost 10 years. It's put it this way. We should be doing that. But the thing I heard not too long ago was that the average YouTube video gets about 7 views. And, that's that.
Hey, you almost gave me a song cue there.
Go ahead.
I paid my dues. I've done my time. Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. We are the champions, my friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Gail. Hi, Steve. Gail, why don't you and Steve go on the same laptop? Can you do that? I don't know. Whatever. Maybe
they're across the room from each other and they don't speak to each other.
That's one of the biggest mysteries of the internet is that we haven't been able to get Steve Hogan unbanned from Facebook or StreamYard or somebody, but nevertheless. So, Bernie, I had an opportunity to head to New York City over the weekend. Grand Design has been in business for 11, 12, or 13 years, depending upon who you ask. And they've really, because at Campers Inn where you work, you sell the Grand Design towable products. And I know very soon, sometime in the early fall, you'll be having the first motorized product. But they announced the world premiere of their Lineage Series M product that we may have some photos that either you or Bill want to click up on there.
You want to do the video first, or what do you want to do?
Well, let me set the video up and tell people what happened. But they figured, let's go to New York City. And that building behind us is the New York Public Library. And in front of us is Bryant Park, where if there's another photo, that grass is all ice skating in the wintertime. So they brought one of their towables down. They brought, actually 2 towables. They brought a 5th wheel. And we just had some RV people there. There's Don Clark, and he's talking with Matt from Matt's RV Reviews.
Yeah, Mr. Foxcroft. They did a great job. That was a great video they did.
Yep. And then they had some entertainment as well. So that's what they did. But they figured, let's take it to New York City and introduce it to people who know nothing about RVing. And the fact is, most of the people in New York City know nothing about RVing if you live there, because you can't have one there. I mean, what are you going to do? You live on the 31st floor of a skyscraper. You're not going to park your RV out front. Well, you can, but it would probably only last for about 8 minutes.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't last too long before it got towed.
But we've known Don Clark and Tommy Hall for many, many years, and we had an opportunity to speak with them. And, I think this little video will kind of tell the story about the lineage from Grand Design.
Hey everybody, we are in New York City on this special assignment for RVing in New England. We came down to find a campground in New York. And you know what, folks? We found a campground in New York. There's some Grand Design products here, including something I've never seen. Hey,
what are you doing here?
Look at who I run into.
You're on my lawn.
And Don Clark. Are you guys camping here in Bryant Park?
Well, is there a better place to park? You've got all this going on, all these millions upon millions of people, and look, the best product in the world.
Hottest week of the year. I mean, what can you ask for?
Yeah, I think it's 120, but it's
In the shade.
we're having a good time, though, aren't we?
In the shade.
Absolutely.
So the Lineage is the brand newest offering from Grand Design. Tommy, your career is depending upon the success of this.
Yeah.
No truer words were spoken. Yes.
So much. I mean, give us 30 seconds about this. What makes this special?
So the idea behind Lineage is, Grand Design has a rich, 11, 12-year history, depending on who you ask. And we add this new segment. It's something that we wanted to do, for a handful of years. And Don finally let us pull the trigger and go with it. But Lineage, if you look at Lineage, the name in itself is an extension of the family. It's how you carry on your family tree and stuff like that. And, we really wanted to take a motorized segment, put Lineage on each one of our brands, and kind of carry on the vision and the story of Grand Design while adding a little bit of twist of our own. So all of our products will have the Lineage name, no matter what series we get into. So we're excited. It's a motorhome or motorized units that we want our customers to enjoy owning, easy to use, features that are rich and enhance the camping experience, whether it's a single individual taking this out and using it, or a family of four. We want to hit home those points and really make a fun motorhome, a usable motorhome. And I think, based off of the Series M so far, that's what we're being able to do.
Don, you couldn't have found a better guy to put in charge of that concept.
I have 100% of confidence in Tommy Hall. Tommy and I have worked together now for a number of years, and every assignment I've given him and position he's had, he's been uber successful. So I'm very, very at ease with Tommy and his team leading the charge. And this is not just one product, one brand. The Series M is just the first of other motorized products we're going to introduce, and some of those brands will be series will be introduced the first and mid of 2025. So plans are on their way, prototypes are being developed, and I couldn't be more excited. It's just another hill to climb, and it's a great one. We've taken our time, we're doing it right, and we let the customers really lead where we go. And we found out it's easier to build what the customers are asking for than what we think they should buy.
And then force it down their throat.
So I'm very, very excited about this next chapter in Grand Design's history. And even though it's the Lineage series, it's very much Grand Design. Yeah.
And you know what? I'm just shocked. I'm overjoyed that I had just bumped into you out of total coincidence here in New York City, and wish you the best as you continue your stay here in New York.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
There you go.
Wow. What a great interview. Yeah.
Thank you very much. The interesting thing with Don Clark is that 5 years into Grand Design, Winnebago came to them and offered Mr. Clark and his two partners $550 million to sell the company to Winnebago. So Don got to split $550 million. But at the same time, Mr. Zagami did some research, and a couple of years later, he was looking at those reports that major companies have to file with compensation for CEOs. And Clark made about $4 million that year, and Mike Happy, who's the chairman of Winnebago, only made about $2 million. So,
oh my goodness,
you got a guy that reports to you that's making double the money, which I thought was kind of interesting. But
well, he's probably making double the money for the company too. So
well, that's exactly right. And when you look at the acquisitions that Winnebago has made with Newmar, Barletta, and Grand Design, they're really an outdoor recreation company as opposed to just an RV company. And prior to Grand Design, they just had a tiny, tiny share of the towable market. And the towable market, Bernie, as you know, is 80% of the market.
Absolutely. More people, they start their RVing experience with a towable. It makes sense. I mean, you've got a young family, a couple of kids, and you don't want to be spending, $2,000-$3,000 a month on a payment, right? That doesn't make sense. You're barely making that for your home. So you want something that you can buy for $400 a month and still have a wonderful time and experience the whole RV lifestyle, as many people do.
Yep. Hey, just to our audience here, Bernie, as well. Did you notice anything about the color scheme of that lineage?
On the outside, I mean, I thought it was interesting. It was kind of like a metallic-y, powdery blue stripe. Is there something special about it?
No, it's a color that there are several colors. They're all with the same pattern, but the blue can change to green, to a darker blue, to several palettes there. And I thought it was very funny because can any of you, especially for those in the audience, say hello to Larry Peter, who just joined us here. Larry, we don't know whether you're country musicking it or whether you're baseball with your son or whether you're NASCARing it at an upcoming track, but welcome. And to Michelle Fontaine as well. But see that blue. I've never seen that blue before.
Yeah, it's really unique.
And it's
like a seafoam, but kind of a little bit more to it than that.
Yeah. Larry, you getting ready for NASCAR for 4th of July in Chicago? Does NASCAR go there this weekend? Does NASCAR go to Chicago? Larry,
I'm not sure where it's going to be, but while he's on, I'm going to kind of give him some heck because he was supposed to meet me in Loudon this past weekend, and he totally stood me up, left me hanging. He's going to Nashville on Friday, so that's going to be a good time for him. And once again, we missed out on an opportunity to meet, but that's okay. I love him anyway. He's an amazing guy. He does great things and represents our company well. And but I'm going to hold him to it. Someday we're going to a race together, and we're going to have a good old time.
Yep. Yeah. Well, Larry and I had a chance to view some Daytona action back in February. And Larry, I may have to ask you to see if you got any of your credentials for the folks that own the Margaritaville campground just outside of Orlando, and they want to talk to you guys at Campers Inn about doing a promotion down there with anybody who buys a Campers Inn product in Florida to spend some time at
Margaritaville.
So I'll talk to you that. I'll send you an email on that. But so
Larry's going to be with Ben Rhodes. So he's our last year Thor Motor Racing Team truck champion, and that's very exciting. So so he's making excuses now, like it rained a little bit. Big deal. AJ Allmendinger was out there going with it. But you know what? We just talked about the Grand Design thing. Do you mind if we talk a little bit about that wonderful product? Because Matt and the product manager for the Lineage product were very specific and broke it down nicely. And you and I talked about this earlier. It's the first classy motorhome on a Mercedes 4500 series chassis.
Right. Yep. And I was at a Mercedes dealership today where I know the people that own it and asked a couple of the Sprinter techs about the 4500, which has been out for a couple of years now. You haven't seen many RVs. Actually, this is the first RV that's available on the 4500, but it just gives you more cargo carrying capacity. It's got a beefier, that's the term they use, a beefier frame.
Right. So it's like a 12.2 or something like that, GVW. But what Grand Design was talking about is that it allowed them to build that up a little bit more, to make it a little bit more of a rigid coach. And they use some interesting products, like instead of using like a fiberglass product, they use this noble plastic composite as their exterior wall. That stuff is very rigid, and it makes for a beautiful finish because it's straight. You don't have all the bends and grooves that you typically get in fiberglass when it's laminated.
Yep. You bring up a very interesting point on that, Bernie. And I see our friend Dwayne Cyrus, your guest, one of your guests, Dwayne just.
Oh, yeah. We'll be talking about Dwayne. Yeah.
And one of the things that people brought up in New York City on Saturday was why, if Grand Design is a Winnebago owned company, why are they going to compete with the View and Navion? And, somebody brought up the fact that, very simply, Grand Design is a Winnebago-owned company, but not Winnebago kind of leaves their – Dwayne, jump in on this. Winnebago kind of lets their subsidiaries or their sister companies, if you will, kind of do their own thing. They don't get into the nitty gritty of saying, don't do this, don't do that, because and I don't think on any Grand Design product you will see a Winnebago logo. Am I white, Dwayne Cyrus? Am I white? Am I right?
Get a little tongue tied there.
Yep. So Bernie did well. Videos were great. I hated to miss it.
Well, here's the thing, John. There's many things that they made very different about that. First of all, it comes standard with 600 watts of solar and 230 amp hour batteries. And you can upgrade that to 1350 solar with about 800 amp hours of battery. So at that point, when they add I'm just getting technical.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can tell that Bernie sells these for a living because
I love the video. The
general public has no idea what the hell 8 hours versus 800 amps versus 600 amps or all those other technical things you use. But I know you have to
mix them all up, but that's okay.
And it's so funny because you see the engineers come into the showroom, right, Bernie? Right. The engineers come in and they've got their yellow legal pad with all, with
pocket protector,
line drawn down the middle. And, the average RV buyer, Dwayne, help me out on this. The average RV buyer doesn't know anything about what the hell they bought as far as, gross cargo, cargo carrying capacity, gross GVDC and LGB and all the other stuff.
John, believe it or not, when you get specific products like this, and these are specialized, unique products, especially in the Class B realm, which I'm not very well versed, people know more than we do when they walk through the door.
Bernie, you're absolutely right. And that's why you see a high turnover in sales reps, because now all of the information about the product and the competing products is available online. So they come in armed with information, and the new rookie salesperson who hasn't learned it yet, is somewhat in trouble. Larry just wrote, where is Bob? Bob who?
Oh, yeah. No, he's taking a vacation day, right? He actually takes a couple days off a year. I mean, he wakes up at 4 a.m, goes to bed at 2:00 at night. The emails are from everywhere. Like, oh my God.
Here's what he's doing. Who put his spirit up there? The spirit of Zagami lives on. He told me they were leaving at 8 o'clock in the morning.
He's not dead yet.
He told me. I said, that's true. They told me. He told me yesterday. No, you're supposed to, what's today? Wednesday? Yeah. RVing in New England only Wednesday nights. He said they were leaving Tuesday to drive up to Indiana. Mm-hmm. And then the dog got sick, so they weren't leaving till 9 o'clock this morning. And then when I did another show with him at 8 o'clock this morning, he said, we've moved it up to 10 o'clock. And I talked to him at 11, and he was just pulling out of the driveway. So he has an amazing capability to drive for after Walter Swenson's, nobody can drive as long as Zagami can drive.
Oh, no. He went right from Maine down to Florida with 2 lunch breaks.
Right.
It was a year and a half ago. I'm like, well, what are you doing?
He just did it now with a rented trailer from Fuller RV. Larry, Larry, he doesn't like Buc-ee's. He's not a Buc-ee's fan. And I said, Zagami, you don't even have to go in and get the brisket sandwiches. Just go in and get gas and use a clean bathroom. Just out of curiosity, folks, how many people in our audience here have been to a Buc-ee's? Just let us know. I've been to Buc-ee's, or yes or no. And Dwayne says, no Winnebago logo. I'm not entering that minefield. Which was the one, Dwayne, about what was the minefield that we were talking about there? So anyway, yes.
What is Larry talking about? What? He's dead to me now.
What?
I don't know who he's talking about. JJ? I'm not sure.
He's dead to me now. New England. Who's got the New England RV dealers? Who's got the yes?
Is that Zagami actually chiming in?
Nope, that's me sitting in the
Yes.
background here, but
Okay.
because I'm doing the show,
I thought we were hijacked.
Oh,
we were hijacked.
Like, I mean, because he's just like, Bob's a little creepy.
Oh, Dwayne. Oh, okay. I know what you mean, Dwayne. I know what you mean. The GVWR, yeah, all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of complicated facts and features, but hey, I guess they worked with Furrion to invent a new type of AC that is super quiet and runs on two different levels. So it's amazing.
Yeah. And this unit, by the way, when you go in it, I've never seen one before. It's got a charcoal gray ceiling.
Yeah.
Okay. And it cut down its stove from 4 burners to 2. It still has a microwave, but it's got a pot washer. Excuse me, a glass
washer. Yeah, it has like the momentum sink in it.
Right, a momentum sink. And everything is square. The windows are square. The cabinet doors are square. The refrigerator looks totally different. I think it's a Furrion fridge or Norcold. I'm not sure.
Yeah, those windows are high tech. Yeah, those are something that's pretty unique to the industry still.
Yeah. So from that end of it, but it'll be available at dealers. I know in New England, there's at least one Campers Inn store, and I believe they're going to have it at Longview out in Connecticut as well. So,
oh wow,
we're gonna have more stuff on that, but that's pretty cool. Larry, that's what I'm thinking. How do you not like Buc-ee's? I gotta say it, folks. That brisket sandwich is one of the best I've ever had. And then they have barbecue turkey. And it's not like some places where you have to send out a search party to find the meat in the sandwich. Like if you go to Subway now, you have to hire a private detective to find the meat. or Panera, there's Panera's bread is great, but they should put some meat in their sandwiches.
Yeah, if you go to Subways now, you actually have to ask for extra meat, pay the money to get enough meat that's like covering the bread. Yeah. So it is what it is.
So Dwayne, did you stay right through the end? Did you drive back that night? We saw a lot of RVs on Monday morning making their way through Worcester. Can you hear the thunder in the background?
Wow.
Can you hear our thunder?
No, it must be a good microphone.
No. Yeah. Okay. 11. It's 7-11 on steroids. Yeah. Dante. No, you know what? My wife felt it was more, not like 7-11. It was, what do you call it? The place there that they let RVs sleep at night.
Oh, Cracker
with the
Barrel?
Terrible food. Cracker Barrel.
Yes,
Cracker
terrible.
Barrel. I always go in and buy it because they allow us to sleep there if we're in a hurry. Dwayne, you went home Sunday night. Did you stay? I think the race didn't end until 7:30 at night. So, Dwayne, how long did it take you to get out of the parking lot, or did you duck out early? And Larry's saying Walmart, but I don't know what he's saying for Walmart.
Walmart, you have to make your own awful food. Yeah.
Oh, whatever the case. So, you know what? We're just about time to run that second spot.
Okay.
Or actually, you know what? You can put up the slide and I will take it and let our audience know that we are always grateful to have Seacoast RVs as our sponsor for just about a whole year now. Proud sponsor of RVing in New England, as it says right there. They've got Winnebago towables. They've got the View. They've got the Navion. They've got Travados over there. They're the number one crop park model dealer in the entire United States, as well as Elevation. So stop by Seacoast RV. Say hi to Kenny. Say hi to Amanda. Say hi to everybody who's in that great store. And you know what? It's just a great place to go when you're up in southern Maine. Take a run over there. If you need propane, they've got propane. If you need anything in the store, they've got it. And if you're a hunting fan, they've got Kenny's Museum with all the stuff that they've got there. So special thanks to Seacoast RV And let's see, Dwayne had one of the race ended at 8:15. We left at the start of the rain delay. Oh, yeah. So that was like an hour, that rain delay. Lots of folks left, but got out rather easily. Yeah, good idea. Good idea. I didn't hear you beep the horn because you went within about a mile of our house here.
And this was a lot earlier in the show, but, Estelle wrote to me that she saw me at the track and she didn't come by and say hi. That's too bad. Don't be shy. I had a few friends kind of run into me while I was over there, but it was a pretty interesting day nonetheless.
Yeah, well, she probably saw you interviewing Dwayne, and she was, because of his star power, she might have been intimidated by Dwayne Cyrus's star power.
Oh, yeah. You want to see that interview? I happen to have it right here.
Yeah, go right ahead.
All right, cool. Hey, welcome back. And we're here right now at Loudon Racetrack, the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And I had the pleasure of bumping into an old friend of mine, Dwayne Cyrus from Winnebago. He is the what is it?
Dealer training manager.
All right. Dealer training manager.
Right.
Yeah, and what does that do for people like me or our dealerships or your dealer parties?
Yeah, so at the retail level, the retail salespeople, it's the job of my team to make sure that the folks that are working at the dealerships have the knowledge they need to teach the feature and benefits, talk about the feature and benefits that are unique to Winnebago to make life easier and help their customers enjoy the Winnebago experience and the RV lifestyle.
Now, you've been around Winnebago for quite a while now, and you've evolved from all these different positions. Tell us a little bit about your history there and then how it's turned into this particular job you got now.
Yeah, thanks. I started as a district sales manager in Middle Tennessee, actually.
Oh, wow.
I moved out west. I was in the Rocky Mountains for a little while, and then the longest part of my career has been in New York and New England as a district sales manager up here, and that's where we originally met.
That's right. When I first joined Campers Inn back in 2010, you were our Winnebago rep.
Right. Yeah. And so even way back then, we had other dealer partners that participated in NASCAR, and so I spent a lot of time. Actually, this is probably the 10th race in New Hampshire that I've been to. Love coming here. Love the experience.
Oh, wow.
And we're actually camping up in the campground now. So me and my friends were right in the middle of all the action, having a blast.
Yeah, we went up to your campsite. You have a nice little place there, 2 small Class Bs. What is it, Solus and Travato?
And Travato, right.
Yeah, brilliant. What a great setup. And there's so many nice and friendly people out there.
Right.
So what can you say to people that saying, hey, I wonder what it's like to go to a NASCAR race and camp at the race? Tell us a little bit about the experience.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. As soon as you pull in, whoever's out next to you watching you move in, right?
Right.
And you need something, you just ask. Like, where are you from? Great, let me know if you need anything. Last night, we wanted to play cards. We didn't have a deck of cards. We asked the folks next door. Deck of cards, boom, just like that.
Instantaneous.
It's, no questions asked.
I love that about campers, and especially NASCAR fans. They're so friendly, so outgoing, and they want to get to know you. They want to be part of your new little family, right?
And there's so much stuff going on here. Like, I'm a big hockey fan, and we were walking around last night.
Yeah.
Somebody had the hockey game on, so I stood and watched the hockey game for a few minutes. And
going to Game 7.
Going to Game 7. That's going to be fun. I'll be home Monday to see that.
All right, fantastic. Yeah. Well, I can't thank you enough for joining us today. And I know Campers Inn appreciates our relationship with Winnebago. It's very important to who we are. And I want to make sure that we continue that relationship. And I hope to see you again soon.
Great, Bernie. Thanks. It's been a great relationship. You guys have been partners with us, since the early 70s, I think. You're one of the long time, especially right here in Merrimack.
Way back with Art and Fran, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, it's been a long time. So thank you. We appreciate your business.
Keep it going for another 60 years.
Yeah, it'd be great. Thank you, sir.
Thanks. All right. So that was, I apologize for the overblown microphones. I was using a different mic than I usually do, and I didn't have them adjusted. So the videos tonight will have some of that. But Dwayne was fantastic.
Worked out fine. Dwayne's a nice guy. And, I remember seeing him up there a few years ago at the race. I think I just happened to bump into him at the big store one of the companies that was sponsoring that race had a big store right by the entrance, and I bumped into him there. So I know he's a race fan too. But that's so funny. Estelle got home in time to watch the race, the end of it on TV. But nobody really thought, Bernie, that they would have a conclusion to that race.
Oh, I know.
Only 82 laps to go. I didn't know they had installed lights there.
It's amazing the infrastructure around that track. I was just blown away. Like they had people, just driving golf carts around, bringing people to different parts of the track because it's such a big area, right? Or if you needed a ride up to your campsite or whatever it may be, there was dozens and dozens of golf carts running around. But I mean, just the logistics. While the race was starting, they were still setting up the telemetry booths that are right behind the pit, for each driver. And we had the pleasure of spending time at one of those telemetry booths, and it was just amazing, the experience. And I know you've done it in the past, but these are a little bit different. The people on the computers are right up there in front of you, and you can't really see the track, so you have to kind of look out the sides.
Right, right. Well, in Daytona, at least you can see a good portion of the track there. When we sat up top at Daytona, we could only see the cars in front of us because the track is 2.5 miles long. And, it was about 45 seconds until for a car to make it around there. But Dwayne says no lights. I'm 99% sure, Dwayne, that the announcer said that there were lights. I mean, how could they go to 8:15? It must have been almost dark. But that was that. Folks, any of our audience members have an opportunity to been to a NASCAR race, tell us about it here. Again, Bob and I had an opportunity to, thanks to Larry, attend a Daytona 500, which was delayed by a day. So we had to wait until Monday for that race. But the funny thing is, when there is a rain delay, the beer stands are still open. And I'm sure the concessionaires love that 1 hour delay because, you couldn't go back. It wasn't worth going back out to your camper because you didn't know when the race was gonna start over again. But that was pretty cool there.
Oh, speaking of campers, though, what an amazing setup there. There must have been 7 different lots. They call them each different campgrounds, but several thousand RVers out there. Several thousand.
Oh, thousands.
Just amazing. And the camaraderie and, the partying going on and the barbecuing, you can smell it as you're walking around. And, me and my colleague Autumn had an opportunity to walk around there looking for Dwayne's site. And I was hoping that she'd be on tonight and chime in a little bit because Dwayne, she was really essential to helping me with all these videos and pictures and all this stuff.
Dwayne, I understand that you spent most of the weekend in Frontierland, and that has got nothing to do with the Frontierland at Disney. Is that true that you were at the adults only section? And if that's the case, one of the campers in service guys told me the campground had more campers he had ever seen. Yeah. And their attendance was up considerably this year. You kind of watch the stands, and there were a few years there where you saw more silver than bodies, but that was pretty well attended. No, not exactly. So, Bernie, what else did you see there? Did you see any of the modified races or?
It was mainly that race. It was a NASCAR race initially that they only did a couple of laps, and then they came out with the Xfinity Series about 3:30 in the afternoon. But this short video shows I'm kind of almost hysterical. It's so loud that it actually vibrated my whole body, and it caused me to have like an emotional reaction. So hang out here. Check this out. Good morning. We're here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway up in Loudon, New Hampshire. We have this incredible event going on. As you can hear, the Xfinity Series is going on right behind us. The weather's a little rough. They started a little bit early, but Campers In RV is sponsoring Colleague Racing and AJ Allmendinger. AJ Allmendinger is going to be racing for us in the number 16 Camaro. We're so excited. We have our colleagues are here doing some work. We have some campers for sale up here as well. And the race is on.
is on.
Just a simple little ditty, you know, but you know, it was such an exciting thing, and you can't really tell even because of the microphones or whatever, but it was so dang loud. It was shaking my whole body while I was talking.
Didn't you? You must have had during the races. You must have had headsets or earplugs in because you can't go to that race.
Oh yeah. So when we were in that box, that telemetry box, I was definitely wearing a headset then. And then when I wasn't talking on the microphone, I had earplugs in. And I'll tell you, I got home and I could not hear my wife speak to me, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it was definitely, it bothered me. It's bothered me for a couple of days now. But yeah, I had a physical reaction to it, but it was exciting. I'm going to show you a little shot from the booth that I was in. And here it is.
Yeah, we're up here getting a bird's eye view of pit row. And AJ Allmendinger's car is going to pit right there, right in front of us.
Yeah. So it was whenever I got my camera or my phone close to those computer screens, I was instructed emphatically to turn the camera off. Yeah. So I couldn't be showing anything. I couldn't look inside of an engine bay or a wheel well. They were very strict. But
you didn't tell me you were with Larry?
I was not with Larry.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
I was told I was with Larry, but yes, but it didn't matter. That part didn't matter. They got me through. And here's the thing. There was something wrong with my pass, and I had a VIP pass and I was supposed to be able to do everything and all that stuff. But when I got to the gate, they were kind of blocking me out. They were saying, you don't have the right pass. But the person, Autumn Doty, that I was with, did have the right pass. And with her, influence and beauty, probably, she got me right in. So it really helped out that she came along because they didn't give me the right pass up at the gate where we're supposed to log in and all that other fun stuff.
Yeah, the thing is, when you're up on that war wagon there, you can you can see the precision that the pit crew has to exhibit to get those tires changed. And now that they've got at least on the Cup cars, they've got the one nut to change the tire. So you're doing a 4-tire change in gas in about 9.5 to 10.5 seconds, where it used to be 18 to 20 seconds. But the funny part about what Bob and I experienced, the hardest part of the whole thing was getting Zagami off that damn off that cart without falling and killing himself. So we had people
it's
down
pretty
below.
steep getting in and out of there. Yeah.
It's a ladder you got to climb. So, but that was pretty cool.
I should have came down backwards. I came down forward, and I'm like, well, I'm holding on tight, and they were like kind of watching me, making sure I didn't fall over. But yeah, thanks, Autumn, for jumping in there on the comments, because you did a great job that day. It was so much fun hanging out with you all day, and thanks for getting me in to the pit area. And without you, I probably wouldn't have got in.
Yeah. So Bernie, along the same lines about the NASCAR stuff, do you see at the dealership, do you see any overflow on Monday or Tuesday from people that became familiar with Campers Inn at the track that may happen to come into the dealership?
It was kind of funny. So
even people before the race that would come in for service when they were in the area.
Yeah. So this particular weekend, we were busy on Friday, and Saturday was pretty good too. I wasn't there. Came in on Sunday, and it looked like people were hanging around the races because it was kind of quiet. And then Monday morning, several people were driving by, dropping off their campers for service, and we actually had a really busy Monday. So there was a lot of people coming back from Loudon on Monday morning, and we got hit like a Saturday afternoon rush on a Monday. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's one of those crazy things that when you involve yourself with a sponsorship of a major event like that, whether it's Major League Baseball or NASCAR or NBA. It's so hard to gauge the result of that sponsorship. Do they take your visibility for granted and not know what it is? But then again, NASCAR and camping, I think it's the most logical connection that you can make between a business and a recreation sport. I've seen
it's a marriage made in heaven. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
So Larry was thanking Autumn for taking care of me, and then Autumn's laughing it off. Yeah. So
now, is Autumn out of New Hampshire or is she out of Florida?
Yeah, she's out of New Hampshire. She works right in the Kingston store. So we're kind of neighbors, and we chat a lot and do some work together on some in-house videos and all this stuff. But I'm going to show you some of her photography and in some of the photography that NASCAR gave us too. So this was us hanging out with AJ, and that was a split second. I remember to say good luck, and he turned around and he was surprised. He's like, oh, thank you. Because everyone takes their picture and runs away, So that's how that all shakes out. And then there's Dwayne. Yeah, go ahead.
You didn't try to get into that car, did you?
I did not. It wasn't going to happen. There's not a shoehorn big enough to get me into that car.
Yeah. Even if you greased it with oil, you weren't getting in.
So I work with this lovely lady called Karen every day. And she goes, Bernie, I have to say, orange is not your color. You look like Charlie Brown, the Great Pumpkin. I said, thank you. I feel the same way. Karen Bragg, she's my colleague at work. She's the front desk receptionist, and she's a wonderful person, and we can talk straight with each other. But she said, yep, Bernie, you look like the Great Pumpkin. I said, I know orange is like my worst color. It adds 100 pounds, but whatever.
Yeah. The funny thing, Bernie, I don't know if you noticed it, but those drivers, except for, Larry, help me out. The guy from Loves, the big tall guy, they're all little, 140-pound guys, right? Did you see them walking around the track? They're tiny. They're like jockeys. Larry, what's that guy? Michael, the guy from 34, Loves. Michael McDowell.
Yeah. They were all kind of small, like 5'4", 5'3", something like that.
Except Logano's pretty tall. Joey Logano's pretty tall. But it's funny. Let's see, what do we got here? Dwayne is saying, following some other Facebook pages that cater to those camping at the race, it's clear that Campers Inn mobile service was appreciated and effective. That's good. The dealership awareness created was evident. Excellent. Great to hear that.
Oh, yeah.
Larry's happier to hear it than you are.
A lot of work. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Let me go over a couple more pictures here because we got the close-up of Dwayne here with his buddies. He had his own little entourage with him for the weekend, and they were a riot. They were so outgoing, so much fun to hang around with all day on Saturday. And then we got some other lovely pictures here and some action shots. And if you don't mind, I'm going to hit you with just another couple of really tiny video clips.
Go.
All right. All
yeah,
right.
Those are the modifieds, Bernie. Those are the open wheel cars.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
And that was like early on. Yeah, it was early on in the day. Yeah. And they were doing some testing and this and that. And then I had a line that I heard you say today, and this is something that
Gentlemen, start your engines. It's crazy. Gentlemen, start.
Yeah.
Of course, now they can't say gentlemen anymore because it's not politically correct. Although, Larry, are there any women racing right now? Are there any?
Autumn knows a racer. Autumn was talking about a girl. Yeah. And who was that? Autumn.
Women.
Yeah.
Women.
Yeah. It's a long day. I get up at 5 o'clock. So.
Well, hell, you only live 10 minutes from the track. Can you hear that? No, actually, if you're not there, you can hear the track from miles away.
Oh yeah, yeah. They can hear it from Chichester, I'm sure.
Yeah,
but not from Nashua.
Oh, there is a woman. Okay, Haley Deegan.
I
don't know.
Okay, let me.
Then there's a Massachusetts guy, Kaz Grillia, number 51, I think. But I met him at Daytona 500. He's usually he's just getting to learn the circuit. And then the other guy with the Massachusetts connection, or Central Mass, I should say New England connection, is Ryan Preece, number 41, who had a great season last year, but is having a terrible season this year. So you never know. Did you meet Matt Collick at all, Bernie?
You know, I could have sworn I saw him walk by, but since I hadn't met him in person, I didn't want to kind of jump in there and chat with him. But I got to meet this other guy. Let me see if I still have that in there.
I think he's the leaf filter guy, if I recall.
Yeah, that's his company. Yeah, he started that company, Leaf Filter, and you know the advertisements were right next to ours on the car.
As you can see, we got crew chief Alex here making some last minute adjustments to the car. They're cleaning it up, making sure it's polished nice. What a beautiful ride. I can't show you the engine, but you can see.
Well, you get the idea. So, yeah,
that looks like they have the paint there. The not the glossy paint, the opposite. Larry, what's it called?
It's a low luster kind of, but I don't think it's paint. It's a skin.
Yeah, but you know, without the shine. Some of them shine, and now the new cars that don't have that shine. The other thing I think it's important to say is that when you go to NASCAR, you generally are supporting the local economy, because the money that is pumped into Loudon, New Hampshire, used to be 2 weekends a year. Composite. Okay. They're not even metal. Huh? That makes them a lot lighter. But the money that's pumped into the local economy is absolutely amazing, because, you know, the hotels that are all filled up, and there are not that many hotels in that area at all. But a lot of, NASCAR generally doesn't go to the major cities. I think Chicago is the biggest. Chicago and Las Vegas are the two cities that have the most hotel rooms where they go to, but they're usually out in the sticks. But anyway,
there's plenty of room to put a track like that. Yeah, I mean that facility is massive.
Oh, there's no question there, and that's one of the small ones. That's a mile. I mean, figure Daytona is double the size, and even Talladega is even bigger than that. It used to be an Air Force base, you know, et cetera. So I gotta I
want to ask some NASCAR aficionados something that I couldn't understand, and I don't have a picture of it, but they were taping little pieces of, you know, shiny tape on the front of the cars in a sequence. They had 2 over here and 3 over here. Next car had them in a diamond shape or whatever. And there must be a specific reason for that. And I don't know if it's like the cameras pick it up or whatever it is, but yeah, there's something going on.
You're not talking about on the windshield.
No, it was actually towards the front bumper. And Alex spent many, many minutes putting these little stickers on. And I wonder if it has to do, like when I was in that booth, I hope I'm not talking out of turn here, but one of the gentlemen that was watching the screens was looking at what looked like to be a video game, and he could follow these cars around every inch of the track, even where there was no cameras. Had nothing to do with cameras. It had everything to do with the positioning. And he was talking about, hey, you know, you got someone, you know, 3 meters off your left rear wheel, and you know, you might want to follow this guy.
That's the spotter that's up on top of the grandstand. That tells them.
Yeah, Larry, on the front grill. Yeah, so it'd be like right below the front grill, like where the airing is down there.
It's got to be for air intake.
No, but the tape was a design that they put on.
Oh,
yeah. So it was pretty interesting. It was like little squares, like 1-inch squares, and in a little sequence. And someone knows. Okay, the front grill. Oh, let's show everybody. Yeah, the front grill has an air intake. They tape that up the inlet to create downforce. Bodies are all different, so the tape job is different. So there was some of that going on for sure. There was definitely some of that downforce tape going on. But yes, there was a little bit more to it. And I'll figure it out. I'll look it up, and I'll come up with an answer.
Yeah. And Bernie, when you sit up top there, you see there are guys up there that don't even get to watch the cars. I mean, they're just looking at a computer screen. And they know.
They're not watching anything. They're just in their zone. Yeah. Checking tire pressure, checking, oxygen intake, whatever it may be. Yeah.
And did you see when they changed the tires? They're down there checking the tire widths and all that other stuff. It's really interesting. Next time we go, Larry, hint. Next time we go, we'll have to take you some more of the behind the scenes stuff, because people don't realize people don't realize the work that the pit crew does and the shape that they're in. And the fact that everything they do is exactly the same. They jack that car. One guy carries 2 tires out there.
Oh, yeah.
And
they're cutting
they roll the tire back to another guy because they can the other side of the wall. And then you got the NASCAR officials out there. And then you got the guy carrying that giant can of gasoline. And I think at this race, there were a couple cars that the gas can got stuck in the car, and they drove away with the gas can still on it.
Oh my gosh! And then you have firemen at each pit too. So you have people with fire extinguishers, brooms, whatever they need to put that fire out if it occurs.
Yep. But you know what? We want to wish Mr. Zagami well in his travels. He'll be. We've got no show, by the way. We've got no show next week, folks, because of 4th of July. So enjoy that time with your families. When you're having a hot dog or hamburger or Budweiser or whatever the case may be, feel free to think of us.
Yeah.
And we want to thank you for joining us. Bernie, any final thoughts about your first trip to the track?
I can't thank you and Bob enough for having me on all the time. Not all the time, but like once a month or so. And it's really exciting to be part of what's going on here. And everything that I've learned and try to learn from you folks, I'm trying to apply to my new gig, the RV Game Changer. And I hope people really start to get an eye on that. I'm having some great guests on. And like I said, Jim Conboy, Jeff Muffalato was last week. Had RV Love, Julie and Mark Bennett. And there's so many wonderful guests and sharing some exciting ideas that makes the RV industry better and better. And I just love the direction the industry is going in and all the wonderful things that are in our future, because we are far from over. This thing is just starting to bloom.
Yep, exactly right. And I'm sure, based upon the loyalty of this audience, they all know that RVing is a very fun part of their life. And you know what? We're heading out next week. We head up to Canada. So we're going to be up there. And special thanks to Larry Peter. What's Larry's title? Larry is some kind of VP. So you got something?
Yeah, he's like one of the Southern Region VP
that's right.
sales. Yeah, he's a big deal. Yeah.
I mean, he's got a whole bunch of jobs, but, primarily involved in sponsorships. And we really want to thank Dwayne, because in that movie, in that 30-second open for Seacoast, where they show the Winnebago Flying W in the trophy, in the plaque, I always look for Dwayne's name on the plaque, because not the plaque, the certificate, because we were down at what's the name of the big place? Down Lazy Days down in Florida. And we're walking through, and there was a couple Winnebago certificates up on the wall at one of the salesperson's office. And I looked close enough, and sure enough, it was Dwayne's signature.
Fantastic. He gets he's pervasive. He's everywhere.
He's everywhere, and he's a good guy, and he helps people out. And speaking of helping people out on this show is what the folks at Seacoast RV do. and they will help you out regardless of what kind of RV you have. They work. Their service department is very well recognized, and a lot of diesel repair work they're doing now. So if you've got a park model, don't drive it there because you don't want to be driving on I-95 with a park model. But if you got a Winnebago product or any other brand, stop in and see the professional service folks at Seacoast RV, Route 1, Saco, Maine. And we will see you in 2 weeks. Bill, pop your head out of the back screen there just to say goodbye to our audience.
Thank you, everybody. Yes, enjoy fireworks. We're about to have the same stuff that John is talking about. I can hear the rumbling and I can see some flashes of lightning. So
Yep. I was able to make it inside. I made it inside.
Yeah, it's not quite fireworks, but it will be like that. Anyway, we'll wrap it up here.
Have a great show.
This edition of RVing in New England was a presentation of the New England RV Dealers Association. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.